Hi, this is John Hottaway with Nighthawk Custom Training Academy. I wanted to respond to a post that was made to one of the videos that we put up on YouTube. So I guess this is my response to that. Jay Fuentes HD, and if I've got that wrong, I apologize, took the time to write a comment back. And first of all, I want to thank you for commenting and viewing the video. I'm very humbled that you would take the time to view the video and write a comment to it. So let me read the comment that was made, and then I'd like to respond to it if I could. He starts out and he says, "A Kimber is just as reliable as a Nighthawk. Though it might not have all the bling that a Nighthawk has, it is still going to go bang every time that the trigger is pulled. The gentleman that started Nighthawk, is a cast off of Wesson Combat that wanted to go into business for himself. If you think it necessary to spend $2,000 to get a reliable fighting handgun, then go with the original, get a Wesson Combat." So, again, thank you for taking the time to respond to it. I'd like to make a few comments if I could, and specifically I want to start off with Kimbers. Let me say that this is one of my favorite Kimbers. This, if you will notice, is an Ultra Elite Custom Shop Kimber. This is one of my favorite little handguns. This was before the Ultra CDP came out. This is when this was the first generation of this gun, and it was made by their custom shop. It is pretty much a handmade gun on an aluminum frame. I've had this gun since it was originally made, and I really like this gun. And I keep this gun, although I don't carry it anymore, I keep this gun because it's just one of my favorite little compact 45s. And yes, this is a handmade gun and it's very reliable. I'd like to point out a couple of things. This being my gun, I think it's appropriate that I can point this out without being a hater. The first thing is, if you will notice, this main spring housing right here is made out of plastic. And this is the one piece that keeps the gun running and the trigger going forward and the hammer going bang, as you referred to in your into your response. I have a little problem with this being plastic. I haven't replaced it because, again, this was a very early production gun. This is a MIM part right here, and the other parts inside this gun are MIM parts. And you know, I'm going to say unequivocally, I have worn out 2 Kimber Ultra matches, and I've had numerous Kimbers. I actually gave one of these to my dad as a Christmas present one year for him to have as a carry gun because he thought it was just so cute. Now, I'm not a hater of Kimber. I think that they make a decent gun. I will say that in every situation, when we talk about the price-value equation, meaning what do I pay for a gun versus what do I get for the gun, I've said when you're looking for a value-price gun, that I think Kimbers are mass-produced guns. That's not a crime. That's not something bad. It just is what it is. They're a mass-produced gun. They use the lesser expensive parts, and they are not hand assembled and fitted the same way that a custom gun is. I have had issues with Kimber guns. I know other people that are very happy with their guns. However, I think there's other guns out there that represent a better value and a better gun. I have repeatedly recommended some of the STI Spartan guns. I've recommended, for a value price, 1911 is a good starter gun. I think they make a great gun. I've also recommended the Springfield TRP as what I consider to be a great gun as well in that price range if you can't or don't want to spend the money to get a true custom gun. I'll tell you that I've seen and handled some of Mark Morris's work, which is an $8,000 or $9,000 gun, which is out of my price range and also out of my weight list, that I thought was a beautiful gun and would love to have a Mark Morris custom. Okay, I've also got other gun makers that I think are great out there. So I'm not a hater of any particular one. I just say that in the price-value equation, I don't find the current manufacturer Kimbers to be the best value out there. Do they always go bang? Well, I don't know about that. But they do make a decent gun. Now, let's talk about another comment that you made. You said, if I'm going to own, a gun, why not go with the original? Well, let me show you a couple of what I consider to be originals. This is a Wesson Combat Super Grade. It's a stainless gun on a black upper with Wesson Pyramid Combat Adjustable Night Sights. 1911 and 45. This is a great gun. I have no problems with this gun. 100% reliable, great running gun. I've owned this gun for years. I probably have owned 5 to 6 of this particular Super Grade that I changed out over the years. Paid full retail for the guns, and I would say they're great guns. I'll show you another gun that I have when you want to talk about going to the original. This is a Wilson Combat Service Grade in CQB, and this gun has been NP3 coated by Robbie Barkman, and again, adjustable combat pyramid sights. You know, this gun is 100% reliable. I also have a 38 Super conversion for it, so it's a 9mm 38 Super. I don't have anything wrong with Wilson guns. I own several of them. These are just a couple of examples that I've competed with both these guns. I've carried both these guns. I think Wilson makes a great product. Now, let's talk about Nighthawk. I will freely admit that I have a relationship with Nighthawk, that I'm a partner in Nighthawk Custom Training Academy. As you can see here from the table, this is my Falcon. This is one of my guns that I both carry and compete with. This is my Talon, built on a double stack frame that I compete with this in IDPA. This is my everyday carry gun. So if you want to know what I've got on an everyday basis, this is it. This is a Talon 2 with a bobtail on it and aluminum frame. This is my single stack 9mm that I compete quite often with, and it's a 100% reliable gun. It's a Talon, and this is a Talon in 45 ACP. This gun has night sights on it. This gun has a fiber optic with a Heine rear sight on it. So I'm not a hater of any particular brand of gun, and if I've come across that way, I apologize. However, I will tell you what I think makes Nighthawk a great gun. First of all, one gun, one gunsmith, meaning that these guns are handmade. You couldn't take this gun and this gun, take them apart and assemble them differently. All the parts are fit to that gun, which leads to two things. You know, I think that if you imagine for a moment, on one side of a scale, you've got accuracy, and it starts out from very poor to very high, so you've got an index going this way. And then on this side of the scale, you've got reliability, from 100% reliable to 0 reliable. Well, guess what? You can build a gun that's 100% accurate and 0% reliable. Or you can build a gun that's 100% reliable and 0% accuracy. So the optimal gun is where those two things cross and create that perfect tipping point between reliability and accuracy equals a functioning fighting handgun. And I think Nighthawk has developed a manufacturing process with one gun, one gunsmith that you get that. I agree, these guns aren't for everyone. And I have a whole bunch of plethora of polymer guns, and I enjoy all kinds of guns. And if you look at some of my reviews, you've seen some of my car arms guns that I carry. I'm a big fan of Smith & Wesson M&P. I've competed and campaigned that gun in production, you know, or SSP. I even own a revolver or two. So, you know, I apologize if you think that I'm hating on Kimbers. Let me just say one thing. I live in Northwest Arkansas. I know most of the people that work at Nighthawk. I know several of the people that work at Wilson. John May, I consider a friend of mine. He's the sales manager there. You know, I have other people. I know Bill and Joyce. I know these people. And, you know, I'm going to say something. This country is the land of opportunity. And the ability to go out and start your own business and employ people. You may not like the fact that Craig left left Wilson to form Nighthawk, but there's 50 people now that have a job that wouldn't have a job if he hadn't have done that. You know, I would say that I know a lot of the people at Wilson who have left, and they've run their own gun shops, they've run their own operations, and they've come back. If you have any doubts, go to the Wilson Combat page and look up the people that are on their staff. There is no crime in leaving someone to open your own shop. Thank you, and I appreciate your comment.